Hello friend, welcome to the lecture of the manufacturing process. In last lecture we have started about the solidification process in the casting. So in continuation to that, today we will discuss about the uh, homogeneous or self-nucleation. So you can refer my all the lectures on manufacturing process on YouTube channel Engineering College Banswara. So today we'll start from the homogeneous and self-nucleation. So you can see a variation of nucleation rate with the temperature. Basically, it's depend upon the number of parameters like which method you use for the cooling of the metal. So here you can see one graph is plotted between the nucleation rate and the temperature. So it may be vary with the nucleation temperature as well as the nucleation rate. The graph here shows the nucleation rate as a function of the temperature. With decrease in temperature, there is a increase in the nucleation rate due to the rapid decrease of the free energies. Obviously, if you release the temperature, okay, so it will release the free energy which is available to the new actually particle, molten particle, and it will try to settle down and it will convert it into the solid particle. So as you decrease the temperature, nucleation rate is going to increase. After a certain fall in temperature, the activation energy for diffusion become significant. The role of free energy is no more in picture. So at the B point, you can see after this, at the B point, it will stable for some time because they don't have the free energy. So this result into decrease in the nucleation rate with further drop in the temperature. Again, it will goes into the reverse direction. Okay, so nucleation rate is decreasing as you can reduce the temperature. The maximum nucleation rate is observed at the temperature below the melting point. So this graph explain about the solidification rate, or we can say nucleation rate with the temperature. So heterogeneous nucleation is somewhat different from the homogeneous. The formation of nuclei within its own melt with the help of foreign substance or substrate is known as the heterogeneous nucleation. So here you can see we have a substrate. Okay, here we have a liquid metal, and at some point we will start the solidification. So the phase transformation take place with the help of the impurities. Okay, so it is a different kind, like solidification start, or we are taking the help of the impurities to solidify. If the metal is to solidify on a foreign substrate, it is essential that the surface of the substrate should be weighed by the liquid metal. Once this condition is satisfied, next the liquid solidify easily on the substrate. When the angle of contact theta is small, interface between the solid and the substrate has the low surface energy. Hence, the total free energy for formation of the stable nuclei is also decreased, and the critical radius of the nucleus will be smaller as per the given equation. So here it is very simple. We are using the external impurity to start the nucleation, and the after you will get the solid substance. When the contact angle is small, nucleation will occur at the small amount of undercooling. If the contact angle is large, a greater amount of under nuclear cooling is necessary. If the theta is equal to 180, the liquid metal does not easily solidify on the substrate. Since solid metal and substrate interface energy is high, sometimes nucleating agent is added to molten metal to act as a catalyst. This substrate may be compound insoluble in the metal, which will produce a small contact angle. So sometime catalyst is also added to or we can say to increase the nucleation rate. Some substrate in the fine size are added in small quantity to the molten metal in order to promote the heterogeneous nucleation and growth of crystal. This is called as the these are called as the inoculants. Okay, so here you can see solidification process. The growth of nucleus. Growth follows nucleation. Growth process determines the final crystallographic structure of the solid. Growth of nucleus. Growth follows the nucleation. So in first slide in last lecture you can refer, as we have discussed, like nucleation process start from the single point and it will converted into grain. So growth follows the nucleation. Growth process determines the final crystallography of the structure in the solid. So growth may be defined as the increase of the nucleus in size. Okay, the nuclei grow by the addition of the atoms. The nuclei reduce their total free energy by the continuous growth. During growth, material is transferred by the diffusion. The rate of transfer obeys the equation. From this equation you can calculate the rate of transfer. Growth start on the grain already formed. Thus in general you can see it's depend on the degree of supercooling. So growth is basically controlled by the number of parameter, or we can say external parameter. Next, the specific heat is the heat required to change the temperature of the unit weight of material by 1 degree. The specific heat may be removed first either by the radiation into the surrounding atmosphere or by the conduction into the surrounding mold. Until the liquid cools to the freezing temperature, the latent heat in respect to the casting, which represent the heat that is evolves and disorder liquid structure transformed to the more stable crystal structure, must be removed from the solid liquid interface before solidification completely. The manner in which the latent heat is removed determines the growth mechanism and final structure. There are two possible ways of growth: planar growth and dendritic growth. So here from this figure you can see planar growth. The temperature of this liquid metal is greater than the freezing temperature, and the temperature of the solid form is below the freezing temperature. So here different phase has been shown in this figure. Okay, the latent heat of fusion must be removed by the conduction from solid liquid interface through the solid to the surrounding for the solidification to continue. So here it is shown in figure. Here we have a molten pool at the center. It is a molten zone and it's a liquid solid zone. So the solidification start from the left to the right. It is also known as the growth direction. So in right hand side figure you can also observe the same thing. So growth of nuclei, any small, as we have discussed, some at a certain point it will start and it will goes into different direction. So here it is second part, that is dendritic growth. When the nucleation is poor, the liquid freezing temperature below the solid undercool to the temperature below the forms. You can see in the figure. Under this condition, a small solid protuberance called as a dendrit which form at the interface and encourage to grow. So this is actually produced due to the temperature difference. Here you can see undercooled liquid. So it will form some dendritic shape. Okay. As the solid dendrit grow, the latent heat of fusion is conducted into the undercooled liquid, raising the temperature of the liquid towards the freezing temperature. So these are the different shapes. You can also read this slide. You will get some more idea about the growth of nuclei. So method of control the grain structure resulting in the result from solidification. So here we have different method. We will discuss in the next lecture. Like first one is the inoculation by using the adding appropriate inoculating agent or grain refined agent. You can see here we are using the external grain particle agent, that is to start the nucleation and it will solidify, result in the fine grain structure. So rapid solidification, by encouraging rapid solidification, a very small spacing of secondary dendrite arms may be achieved. The rate of solidification for any given metal can be influenced by the size of the casting, the mold material and the casting process. So here we are using the external agent which is added to the molten pool or molten metal. It will start in the solidification and ultimately you will get the fine grain size. So here directional solidification, in many applications a small equiaxed grain structure in the casting is not desired. So casting is used for the blade and vane in the turbine as in such a big. So here we can see as per your application, suppose you want to place your component in the certain direction. So equiax is not required, but because it is uniformly in each and every direction. But in that case you can use the some other things like in the columnar grain survey, like in figure it is shown. So in that case you will get the good strength in the longitudinal direction. So as per your application you can also control the grain. So ultimately you will you will control the mechanical property of the component. So at last here we discuss about the defects, that is a gas porosity. You can see here gas which was interrupted in the solid and it will produce the porosity. Many metals dissolve a large amount of gas when they are liquid. Aluminum dissolve hydrogen. The excess dissolved hydrogen form the bubble that may be trapped in the solid metal during the solidification. So here oxygen also dissolved in the liquid metal. So these are the some problem which was occurred during the solidification. Like shrinkage, almost all metals are denser in the solid state than in liquid state. So this is the actually shrinkage problem. So you need to add some allowances. Okay. So from that you can control this problem. So here some figure shows the solidification defects which was produced or which was developed during the solidification of the metal. So